Hello, welcome to this lesson on multiplication of surds, and we are going to now make use of the rules that we earlier learned on how to multiply surds during my video on introduction to surds. If you haven't watched it, kindly do. I'll leave the link in the description below, and also remember to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. So let's start with example number 1. We have 2 plus root 3 into 2 plus root 3. This is something which might be looking familiar to many of you. And the way we do this is we take the first term from the terms that we have under the first brackets. We take the first term, which is 2, and then we multiply by everything that is under bracket in the second brackets. Then again plus the second term, and we multiply by everything on the other side. Just the usual way we do multiplication. So let's note the square roots make you maybe fear working out surds or multiplying, or think maybe this is a difficult question for you. So we have 2 plus root 3 and then plus, then we take this, the root 3, and always remember that the sign that is coming here should be what you have here. So this is a sign that you should have, the plus there, and then root 3 into everything that we have here, 2 plus root 3, and then we just multiply just the usual way by removing the brackets. So what is 2 multiplied by 2? We know that one for sure is 4, plus now 2 multiplied by root 2. Here you have to apply the rules of multiplication when you're working on surds. 2 multiplied by root 3, we can't say it's root 6 because 2 doesn't have a root. And when you have 2 multiplied by root 3, you take the 2 multiplied by the whole number which is outside the root, and the number which is outside the root is 1. So you'll have 2 multiplied by 2, which is 2, and then root 3, plus the same way to the other one, root 3 multiplied by 2. You will get 2 root 3, and then plus root 3 multiplied by root 3. Now these ones are under the same root. We have root 3 multiplied by root 3. So you can bring them under the same root. Then you get 9, right? And then what is the square root of 9? It's 3. So here we can have 9. So, okay. So here we have 4 plus root 3, and root 3 is the same. And we are working on addition, so that one means we can add the whole numbers, which is 2 and 2, to get 4, and then root 3, plus what is the square root of root 9? It's 3, and therefore your answer becomes 4. You have to combine the like terms, the whole numbers, which is 4 and this 3. This one you can't add with anything else because it has a root 3 and none of the other terms which has a root 3. So this one remains on its own. Therefore, it's equals to 7 plus 4 root 3. And you are done with example number 1. Let's do example number 2. We have root 3 minus root 5, then root 10 plus root 2. Just the same way, take the first one multiplied by everything minus the second one multiplied by everything. So we have root 3, then root 10 plus root 2, minus, please don't forget that this is a sign that should come here, minus root 5 into root 10 plus root 2. Root 3 multiplied by root 10 is root 30 plus root 6 minus root 50 minus root 10. Then from there, before we, say we have root 30, we have root 6, we have root 50, we have root 10, and then we decide to leave it there because none of the roots is similar to the other, you have to confirm whether your answer is at its simplest form. So, are there any numbers that when they are multiplied, maybe one of them is a perfect square, so that at least we simplify that? No. The same case to 6, no. But for 50, yes. We can find 25 multiplied by 2, which is 50, and we have a square root of 25. Square root of 25 is there, exists. So here we'll have root 30 plus root 6 minus root 25 multiplied by 2 minus root 10. And this is the same as, it's equals to root 30 plus root 6 minus, this is the same as root 25 root 2. If you remember very well, I'm going to leave the link for the introduction to SURDS in the description so that you can watch the first video, and then after watching now you can come to this one and try to solve these examples with me. Root 30 plus root 6 minus square root of 25 is 5, and then root 2, then minus root 10. Can we simplify any further? No. Is there any term which looks like it has the same root as the other? No, because here we have root 10, we have root 2, there we have root 6, and we have root 30, and then you leave it at that point. Example number 3, we have 3 root 2 minus root 5, then root 10 plus root 2. And just the same way as we've done the others, you'll start with the first term and then you multiply by everything there, then come to the second one, multiplied by everything again. So we'll have 3 root 2 into root 10 plus root 2 minus root 5 into root 10 plus root 2. Okay, 3 root 2 multiplied by root 10 is the same as 3 under the same root 2 multiplied by 10, which is the same as 3 root 20. And we just multiply the same way to the others, unless you can only multiply these numbers, the 2 and 10, so long as they are under the same root. So you put them under the same square root, then you can multiply. Otherwise, if it's outside like this one, you can't multiply with the ones that are inside. So when we multiply, when we remove the brackets, we are going to have 3 root 20 plus 3 root 4 minus root 50 minus root 10, right? Okay, so we can simplify further these ones because we know the square root of 4 is 2. We know we can simplify 20 further, and we know we can simplify 50 because 25 multiplied by 2 is 50, and we know the square root of 25. 20, we can multiply 4 and 5, and we know the square root of 4. So we can't leave the answer at that point. We have to simplify further, check whether the numbers under the square root, whether they have any factors which have a perfect square. All right, so here we are going to have 3 into, it's just the same as that, 4 multiplied by 5 plus 3, the square root of 4 is 2, minus the square root of 25 multiplied by 2, and then minus root 10. And this is the same as 3 multiplied by 2, right? And then root 5 plus 6 minus 5 root 2 minus root 10. This is the same as 6 root 5 plus 6 minus 5 root 2 and then minus root 10. Can it be simplified any further? No. And therefore your answer is that. Example number 4. We have root 8 plus root 2 and then root 5 minus root 2. And just the same way, we take the first one, multiply by everything, then plus the second one, multiply by everything on the other side. So we are going to have root 8 into root 5 minus root 2 plus root 2 into root 5 minus root 2. Root 40. If you are just following just the way I'm doing the others, you will understand why I have root 40, because the 8 and 5, they are under, the two of them are under her square root, and therefore you can put the two of them under one square root and multiply them. Minus root 16 plus root 10 minus root 4. We can simplify this further because we can take 4 multiplied by 10 and then we know the square root of 4 already. So this is the same as the square root of 4 multiplied by 10, then minus root 16 minus plus root 10 minus root 4. And this is the same as root 4 and then root 10. We know the square root of 4 is 2. So we're going to have 2 root 10 minus square root of 16 is 4 plus root 10 and then minus 2. We can combine the whole numbers and we can also combine these two. So it's like we have 2 root 10 plus root 10 then minus 4 minus 2, which is the same as, this is like 1, and then here we have another whole number which is 1. So we are going to have the final answer, we are going to have it as 3 root 10 then minus 6. Alright? Okay. Then finally example number 5. Number 5, we are required to simplify this. 16x squared y power 6 into the square root of 18 x power 8 y power 4, all this divided by 8 x power 3 y power 2, then the square root of 6xy. Alright, if you want to work out this without any confusion, this is how you are going to do it. First of all, check what can be simplified first so that you can make it look much simpler. So we can just, set this one aside at first, and then we can deal with this first, this part. So it's like we can have 16x squared y power 6 all over 8x cubed and then y squared. We know we also have this other part of 18, the square root of 18 x power 8 y power 4 divided by square root of 6x xy. Because here now we can cancel this, and here we'll have power 4, and we can cancel this one, and here we'll only have x, then 8 1 and 8 2. So after simplifying this first part, we are going to have 2 y power 4 then all over x, and then all the other part, which is the same as, if you remember the other previous video, I'm also going to leave the link in the description, whereby I was talking of whenever you have a square root like that is the same as, for example, you have root 4. This is the same as 4 power 1 over 2. If you have the nth root of m, this is the same as m then power 1 over n. So that is what we are going to apply here, because we have it's the same as we have 18 x power 8 and then y power 4, then power 1 over 2, then divided by 6 xy power half. If we power this one power half, it will be easy to simplify because we can cancel by 2 1, here by 2 2, and here by 2 4. Hope we are together. By 2 4. So that one means we are going to have this one should look like this: 2y power 4 all over x, and then let me have it like this so that you don't get confused at this stage. So we're going to have 18, and then we've already gotten the square root of x power 8 and y power 4, so it's only this one which will be having the power half. Then the others will have x power 4 and then y squared, then divided by this other one is 6x y and then power half. So this part here, it still remains the same as per now. We don't know at the end. Then we have this is the same as now. You can return your roots, root 18, then x power 4 y squared all over 6xy then power half, or just you can still have the square root sign symbol. And this 18, we can multiply 9 multiplied by 2, and then we know the square root of 9 is 3, at least to simplify that part. So this is the same as 2 y power 4 all over x, and then the square root of 9 multiplied by 2, x power 4 y power 2 all over 6xy and then power half. And this is still the same as 2 y power 4 all over x, and then we have 3 root 2, right? Hope you're together. Then x power 4 y power 2 all over the square root of 6xy. Now we can multiply 2 and 3 to get 6. We can combine, multiply the 6, the y power 4 and the y squared, and then we have x power 4 and a root 2, and we divide. So we are going to have this like this. It's going to be like this: 2 y power 4, then we had it like this: root 2 x power 4 y squared all over x, and then we have a square root of 6x xy. So we can multiply 2 by 3 to get 6, and then we have this y and the other y. When we multiply them, we'll get y power 6, and then x power 4 and root 2 all over x, then a square root of 6xy. But we can still simplify this x. We can cancel by x. We can simplify further by this x, divide by x, and then here the power goes to 3. So from here we are going to have, after cancelling now the x, we are going to have 6 y power 6, then x power 3 root 2 divided by root 6xy. And hope you've understood why I'm cancelling the x and then x power 4, and maybe just to work it out alone. When you have it like this, according to laws of indices, the bases are the same. The basis is x and x again, and then the power is 4. The other one has a power of 2, and we are working out here on the now division. So when you are dividing and you have the same base, you can only subtract the powers. So you'll have just one base, and then you subtract the powers, which is 4 and 1, and then you will get x power power 3, and the same goes to 6. This one, sorry, the y power 4 and the y power 2. You're multiplying it like this. You have the same base, which is y, so you'll have to add the powers, and therefore we got the y power 6. All right, so then again from here we can simplify further, by the way, and let's see how it goes. So we have 6 y power 6 x power 3 root 2 divided by root 6 x y. So we are going to have it like this: 6 x power 3 root 2 divided by, we can separate the 6, the x and the y, each one of them to have its own root, and this again is the same as power 6 x power 3 root 2 divided by let's say root 6, and then this other one, x power half, is the same, and y power half, because I want us to combine this to simplify this and this, and then the y with the y. So we have y power 6 divided by y power half. According to laws of indices, whenever the base is the same and its division, you subtract the power. So we'll have 6 minus half, and then we'll get y power 5 and half, which is the same as y power 11 over 2. And then working out on x, we have x power 3 divided by x power half. This one will get x, then 3 minus half, and therefore you will have x and 2 and a half, which is the same as x power 5 over 2. So you see, you've simplified further the y power 6 and y power half and x power 3 and the x power half. So we are going to have this as follows. We're going to have the 6, then y power 11 over 2, then x will have 5 power 2, and then our root 2, then down here we'll have power root 6. So we will have it like this: x 5 over 2 root 2 all over root 6. Yeah, and let's see if it can go further than that. Root 2 divided by root 6, the same as the same square root 2 all over 6, which is equals to square root of 1 over 3. Yeah, so that one you can simplify it like that, and therefore you will have your answer as 6 y power 11 over 2 x power 5 over 2, and then the square root of 1 over 3, and you are done. That's your final answer. That's your final answer. So hope you've understood how I simplified this all the way to here, and if you have any question, you can post them in the comment section below. Till next time, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and see you soon. Thanks.